Welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, I'm glad you found my channel. Today we're heading out on the trail to find some mushrooms, but I have a feeling we're going to find some. Also, I have a few tips and a photography hack, one that's not going to ruin you. Without further ado, let's head out on the trail. Right there, that's going to be our first subject of the day. It's a pair of twin trumpet lichens, and I like the composition and how low I can get. I'll set up this shot first, and then I'll get back to you. There's so many different options here. I believe we're going to start with these two here. The second I set up my camera on the ground, it started raining. Luckily for the Sony camera that I'm filming with, I brought an umbrella this week to give you guys a macro photography hack. I'm going to be using it to shield my Sony camera from the rain. And as for this Olympus one, this thing is a real tank. That rain is no match for this system. Are you an Olympus shooter or a OM1 system shooter? If so, drop in the comments below and tell me what gear you use. A little tip for anyone that has camera gear that's not afraid of the rain but has lights that may be affected by rain, just use a plastic bag, slide it over your light and use it as a rain jacket. Any plastic bag will do. I guess I shouldn't complain about the rain because we really need rain for our mushrooms, but I wish I would have been smart enough to look at the weather and bring something waterproof for myself. Luckily, my truck wasn't parked too far away. I ran back to get my golf umbrella for the light setup here, and the small umbrella I was going to use for today's hack is currently sheltering the Sony camera. I'll show you my setup briefly. After that, I'll be posting the result on screen. Here's the composition on the screen as well as my settings for this shot. I'm going to post the results on screen right now. I was packing up my stuff and I was going to go back to my truck and wait out the rain a little bit, but by the time I was done gathering all my gear and putting it all back in my bag, it stopped raining. And I just happened to find these fungi here. I believe they're called yellow brains. If I'm wrong, please drop it in the comments below. The setup for this shot is very simple. I set up the camera roughly 90 degrees, pretty much the same level as my subject here. I'm going to be hand holding the light roughly here, and I'll put the result on screen right now. Just walking through this glade looking for the next subject, and I saw something that looked like a mushroom. Actually, it was over there, and it was a torn up mushroom. I was kind of disappointed, and there wasn't anything too photo worthy about it until this little fellow right here started screaming at me asking to be photographed. I'll get my setup ready and I'll introduce you to my shot. Okay, it's time for the hack of the week, and this week my hack is MPB, my peanut butter sandwich. With the help of your recently acquired peanut butter sandwich and a pocket light, flashlight, any light whatsoever, you can use this as a reflector and this as a source of light. So this is the pro version of the peanut butter sandwich. It has two sides of the reflective surface, more reflective, less reflective. So you can play around for your lighting and just bounce your light, sunlight, anything. It's a cheap reflector and it'll fill your belly. Carry around a peanut butter sandwich. It's cheap, it's tasty, and it'll help your photography. The peanut butter sandwich. I'm going to be using my photo hack of the week, the peanut butter sandwich, for this tiny little mushroom here. And for lighting, I'm using this simple pen light. Nothing too fancy. I think it's like 30 or 50 lumens. Nothing crazy, just to give a little pop. I'm going to use this fantastic peanut butter sandwich to reflect the light. And it's going to hit the stem and a little bit under the cap. So let's put the results on screen now. In addition to the peanut butter sandwich version, I'm going to include a more traditional approach. I've got two LED panels, one with a honeycomb grid that's going to hit the shadow side with a cooler temperature, and another one with a dome diffuser that has a slightly warmer tone to it. I'll take this photo and grab my snack, and I'll put the result on screen after. While I was eating my sandwich, it hit me. I should probably mention that if you're gluten intolerant, diabetic, or allergic to peanuts, you might want to choose a different option for reflectors. On top of the peanut butter hack, I have a second one for you this week. Today we don't have much of an issue with the sun, but it's always nice to be able to control natural light. And you can add negative fill by many ways. Sometimes you can block with your hand, with your hat. But one thing I like using that I don't often show on video is this thing right here. I like using an umbrella. That way, just look at my face, how you can control the light. I use an umbrella when taking portraits of people in studio, but I also use this different umbrella to block out the light and control natural light. Two mushrooms back to back. This is my lucky day. This little fellow here looks like our second mushroom of the day. Geez, I'm rolling. I haven't seen that many mushrooms in a long time. Let's not get too excited. I'll set up now. For this setup, it's pretty simple. This light here has a honeycomb grid on, and it's shooting pretty much just at the base with a cooler temperature light. This light here has a honeycomb grid on, and it's casting warmer light, closer to 3200 kelvins. This small rig LED panel here is casting some blue light here on the greens, just to help the mushroom pop a little bit and separate it from the background, since the background is so close. And let's see what it looks like in post. I was packing my stuff away after the last mushroom, and literally 4 feet away, this other little fellow was staring at me, begging to be photographed. So I said, well, might as well. So this is my setup. The setup for this shot is very similar to the last one. From the left side, we have a LED panel with a honeycomb grid. Same for the right side, but a little bit warmer. I have an LED cube from Small Rig lighting up the back side of that leaf, which brings separation with the subject. I'll show you the result in post. Probably more mushrooms right here than I've seen all year. And this little fellow right there, I think I know what I'm gonna do with it. I'm gonna set up my equipment and then I'll get back to you. We're all set up now. Let's just adjust the lighting. We'll do one light at a time. Awesome, I love it. Let's see what it looks like in post. Well, I almost made it back to my truck and I managed to find another mushroom. There's mushrooms everywhere today. For the setup of this shot, it's very easy. Again, honeycomb grid there, honeycomb grid there, LED cube from small rig there with a snoot, honeycomb, honeycomb, snoot. What's the name of the game here? Control the light. So I've underexposed for my background, and then I started with my LED cube, this one here, with the snoot, for the simple reason that you can't control it with your phone the way you can with the Amaran 25 Ace. And after that one was dialed down, that's why I introduced the lights. All right, let's see in post what it looks like. This is going to be really tricky because the wind is pretty bad up here. But anyways, let's give it a try. If you're a fellow photographer, I would like to hear what system you currently use. And also I would like to hear some pros and cons of that system. I hope you've enjoyed today's video. And if you did, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and turn on the bell notifications so you don't miss future videos. Until next time, stay safe, stay creative, and happy shooting. See you in the next one.